सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला। पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो FBC पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Seed Music.
In the news tonight, Fiji benefits from Asia Productivity Organization. Man charged with attempted murder and towing services to get regulating guidelines. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. Fiji's inclusion in the Asian Productivity Organization has enabled us to take advantage of the knowledge and experience in productivity in the past 30 years. While opening the 54th APO workshop meeting in Nadi today, Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama said this is one of Fiji's moves to compete in a global marketplace that is more competitive and has more players. Akosita Tale has more.
Fiji's ability to increase productivity has been evident in the increase in our economic growth of 2.2% last year and forecast of 3.6% growth this year.
Private sector investment this year is expected to reach 13% of GDP, up from around 4% a few years ago. Recognizing that infrastructure is one of our biggest barriers to economic development, we have already raised capital expenditures from 20% of budget to 32% of budget.
Bainimarama says Fiji has received a great deal of support from APO in terms of training and development in many areas that have helped both the private and public sectors.
We are achieving that in the tourism and hospitality sector, where we are competing with the most desirable and sophisticated tourist destinations in the world. This is one of the first truly world-class industries we are creating in Fiji.
Fiji's goal to establish a modern and stable society that can determine its own affairs can ensure it becomes a proud and responsible player in the global community.
This has much to do with productivity and quality, because a nation that is not at one with itself, a nation that does not establish its values, a nation that does have a clear legal and social framework that is based on equality, will have a hard time being truly productive.
The government is calling on everyone to join efforts to create more wealth and improve the socio-economic conditions of all Fijians. The meeting ends on Thursday. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
A 34-year-old man who allegedly stabbed his de facto wife during a party in Turak last weekend has appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court. Choseteki Tambor faces a count of attempted murder as his de facto wife remains in hospital. Tambor has been remanded in custody to appear in the High Court on November 8th. The Fiji Commerce Commission will enforce a self-regulating guideline for all towing services in the country. This follows numerous complaints from vehicle owners about the manner in which vehicles have been towed away, as well as the charges imposed on them. Vosita Kote Wasawasa reports.
Tow trucks are a common sight on the streets, and the Commerce Commission says towing services are now operating a business which is to earn money, ripping customers after confiscating their vehicles. Even though tow truck companies have the monopoly to determine charges, vehicle owners are still getting ripped off. All these will change from the 1st of December.
Clearly have determined under what circumstances and under what scenario of information provision that vehicles can or will be or should be towed. Secondly, it clearly provides a boundary within which the rates must be enforced. At the moment, the rates, as I said, are set by the towing companies themselves.
Reddy adds there was no formal process laid out for the towing of vehicles.
The towing services market is not a competitive market. By virtue of LTA officers and police and the municipal councils granting permits to selected companies to undertake towing of vehicles from municipal areas or from a roadside where accidents have taken place, that particular process have created an imperfect market where which gives power to the towing companies to levy charges at their own whims and fancies.
FBC News asked two vehicle owners for their views on the changes.
There should also be some clearly defined procedures and rights of the driver. There should be clearly posted signs and these fines, and these fines should be decided not by the contractor but by the municipal authorities.
It's a very good action from them, and I really appreciate that, and I hope public will be happy for that too.
Reddy adds that this regulating law will put an end to towing companies colluding with officers from municipal councils and ripping off vehicle owners. Vasita Kotiwasawasa, FBC News.
After months of anticipation and prayers, the Walk On Walk Strong Fiji Foundation has renewed confidence in the funds kept with the Fiji Cancer Society. Chanel Sivan reports the WOWS Foundation is hoping for better things to come as new trustees for the Fiji Cancer Society were appointed yesterday.
We are dealing with lives and we can't put the price on that, says Walk On Walk Strong campaign founder Sina Kami. Close to $500,000 was deposited to the Fiji Cancer Society's fund by the WOWS Foundation, and the funds were frozen due to differences between the previous office bearers. Today, Kami is smiling and she thanks the government for intervening.
I think all of us has been waiting for something to happen after going through so many different ways of approaching the right people in the society to get things smooth for the fund. But for us, we're happy with the decision that the AG and his ministry is doing at the moment, and so we're looking forward to move on.
The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Ayaz Sayed Kayum, revoked appointments of all office bearers, trustees and board members of the Fiji Cancer Society yesterday. The new chair for the Fiji Cancer Society, Madam Nazar Shamim, says they are working towards holding elections as quickly as possible.
We are very aware that the Fiji Cancer Society needs to be put on its feet again.
The people or the children that we looked at worked together with the WOWS last year, we lost most of those children. And so I'm sure those little angels will be happy to see us, that we're not going to give up. We're going to keep moving because we have more children in the ward that they need our support.
According to the WOWS Foundation, 8 children diagnosed with cancer died last year. Many people are still waiting for funds connected for treatment. The organization hopes there won't be any further delays to the work they are doing in collecting funds for children diagnosed with cancer. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Coming up, vegetable and root crop prices cannot be controlled.
Bola. Oya wasala bilawa. Do pata ke au mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina varomboka. Kako ni valatana no musini sari na kai samarian dolo loma leone wani ni nau om gori ke de mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina varomboka en Bula FM number 2 en sere.
Bula, I'm Wame. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Center Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. The Agriculture Ministry says it cannot regulate the price of root crops and vegetables at the markets. Epeli Tukuwasa has the story.
The price of vegetables fluctuate and buyers notice the difference in prices, particularly around festivities such as Diwali and Christmas.
It's just the supply and demand that will dictate whatever price for that particular commodity that exists in the market. So if the supply is high, then definitely the price will drop to a reasonable price. But if there is a low supply, then definitely that the price for that particular produce will increase.
Wimbuta says previous efforts to have a maximum price proved to be unsuccessful and not workable.
If we set the minimum price, then it won't benefit the farmers. But if we set the maximum price, sometimes when the supply is low, then farmers cannot sell at that higher price. So that is one of the very reasons why we want to remain as let the market dictate the price. So it is the supply and demand.
Market vendors believe any regulated of prices can cause a shortage as farmers won't bring their root crops and vegetables to the market.
I think food prices sold at our market should not be regulated. It should depend on the vendors themselves, because the farmers, they sell to the market at different prices, and it will be hard for the government at any time to control the market price.
The price should be decided by the vendors because we have different business arrangement with the farmers. So a price should be left for us to decide.
However, the buyers want government to control the prices.
Government should regulate the prices at our markets because people will be able to buy nowadays and it's very hard to get money. So it'll be good for the people.
Even though government says prices at the market cannot be regulated, consumers believe vendors should always sell at reasonable prices, especially during the festive season. Epeli Tukuasa, FBC News.
The Fiji Roads Authority says it is working closely with Pacific Transport Bus Company as it tries to improve roads on Taviuni. The bus company threatened to stop services for people living on the southern side of the island because of poor road conditions from Friday. Residents of Ndelai Vuna, Garawalu, Navakawao, Vuna and Ura rely on the bus company for their travel. However, the FRA has refuted the claims, saying they have been in regular contact with the bus company to address this and ensure that bus services continue. It also says that maintenance works are ongoing, though the progress is being hindered by the recent spell of bad weather. The standard of marine plywood that is being manufactured locally is under scrutiny. The Forestry Department has been receiving reports of substandard quality of marine plywood from local boat owners. Mika Longa reports.
This 59-year-old former civil servant of Lami spent his retirement money on this fishing boat about 2 years ago.
I am in difficult position now. This is how my years of sweat and efforts have ended up.
This 35-foot fishing boat was rebuilt in 2011. The owner bought the materials in 2010. The boat structure is built with marine ply bought from a local hardware shop in the capital. And 3 years later, look what's happening. Kunaika had high hopes for his retirement. Now he's thinking twice about taking the boat out to sea.
When I was given the receipt and saw marine ply written on it, I totally believed that it will help my dreams come true. But now I'm not sure whether this is genuine marine ply or not.
Kunaika, who has been living on this boat for the past year, had his boat inspected by the Forestry Department.
There's a case in Lami, there's a case in Narere. There are lots of complaints coming up regarding the use of this marine ply.
They visited me twice and have not come back since.
The Forestry Department says the Australian standard marine ply, though manufactured here, isn't suitable for marine use in Fiji's waters.
Our advice to them is not to buy marine plywoods from any distributor around the country. Stop you buying marine plywoods with the mark marine ply on it.
While the Forestry Department works on solutions, this aspiring fisherman from Nanronga is hoping answers would come sooner rather than later so that others are not caught in a similar situation to his. Mikalonga, FBC News.
Sugarcane farmers in the Lambasa mill area are relieved that crushing at the sugar mill has been extended until Saturday. The recent spell of heavy rain has hampered cane harvesting in Lambasa, and some farmers have large amounts of cane standing in the fields. The Fiji Sugar Corporation has decided to extend crushing by another 6 days to end on Saturday. Farmers are being urged to take advantage of the extension and send all remaining cane to the mill. Meanwhile, farmers have been paid $3.09 per tonne of cane for the final cane payment for the 2012 season. And we turn to sports now. Jamie, what a result by the Fiji Mbati in its first game.
Definitely, Jackie. Fiji flags were waving high this morning with supporters who turned out in numbers at Rochdale to support the boys. FBC Sports spoke with Coach Rick Stone and Captain Petero Divinideva post-game, and we'll hear what they had to say after this break. Stay with us.
नमस्ते दोस्तों, मिर्ची रफ्तार से मैं अश्निल सिंह। शामिल हो जाइए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे फ्रॉम 3 to 7 PM।
Nimbula, metangu nimilote na isaro tambua. Nama kia umenarua kinaona na veka vimoniti kina vakaromboka. Rongo mena biasana kina vibaga barota kinindre komalolo. Ena radio Fiji One na wongani pioniano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Welcome back. Leading sports tonight, the Vodafone Fiji Mbati side has opened its campaign at the Rugby League World Cup with a 32-14 win over Ireland this morning. The side scored a total of 6 tries, with wing Aquila Uwate getting a hat-trick of touchdowns. Other tries were scored by Kevin Naingama, the Sims brothers, Tariq and Coben, with West Naingama adding 3 conversions and a penalty. Meanwhile, despite the win and being on top of its pool, the Fiji Mbati management says there's still a lot of work to be done. The side will play Australia on Sunday, which the management says will be a tougher match.
Definitely did give away too many penalties and allowed Ireland back in the game. Well, I thought our intent in D and the way we played the game was really good, but we've got to fine-tune a little bit in working together and making sure we minimise our penalties. But, you know, that's a good start. We got off to a win and, you know, we've got the first job done and now we can move forward.
And skipper Petero Divinideva also echoed Stone's sentiments.
Great first hit out, but in saying that, you know, as you mentioned, we've got a few things to work on. You know, we gave away some penalties, and you know, we made a few errors that against, you know, opposition like Australia and England in the next 2 games. You know, if we do that again, you know, it's going to be costly. So we just have to play a little bit smarter, and obviously, you know, we'll focus on that in our preparation this week.
The Fiji-Australia game is at 9 AM on Sunday. And this was the atmosphere during the game this morning as caught by the Reporters Academy. Fijian fans were out in numbers to cheer the Vodafone Fiji Mbati as they took on the Irish. The team, not lacking in support, did not disappoint and were also happy with the outcome of the match.
These boys hadn't played, you know, a game for Fiji yet, so I mean the atmosphere and everything. It's hard not to get excited. So, you know, I think we'll be better next week for it. You know, it's a short turnaround, so it should be fresh in our mind. We'll do a bit of work on it in the training paddock, and then yeah, it should be a bit better next week.
And in other sports, the Digicel Fiji 7 squad members will feature for their clubs in the Coral Coast Sevens next month. Officials will be keeping tabs not only on the players but also new talent as they build up to the next leg of the RB series in Dubai and George later in the year. Salen Daudakadaka reports.
A plate final finish at the recent Gold Coast Sevens may not have been the ideal start to Ben Ryan's coaching career with the Digicel Fiji Sevens team. The Englishman has thus given the green light for the players to feature for their local clubs in the Coral Coast Sevens.
The players will be released to their individual clubs so they can participate. They've been training with them. The squad will get together, have the initial training with Coach Ben Ryan, and he's happy to release them so they can be part of their own clubs.
Ryan arrives in the country from England, where he will continue building up the players. The upcoming tournament will give him a chance to monitor the squad as well as identify some new talent for the Dubai Sevens in a month's time.
It is a selection process as well. You know, we do have an extended squad, but not only that, you know, there are other players outside that we'll probably see for the first time. So that's something we're looking forward to.
The Bailey's Fiji Coral Coast Sevens will be held in Lawanga Park in Singatoka on the 14th to the 16th of November and is sure to give Ryan ample time to prepare his players for the next series leg. Chalendo the Kavak, FBC Sports.
Just a week to go to the Melbourne Cup, the race known to stop a nation. And all steps are being taken by Grants Waterhouse to ensure that local punters and cup enthusiasts get to be part of the race. Shelvin Chand has more.
Unlike yesteryears, there are no clear favourites. The Cox Plate had an unexpected winner and a favourite has dropped out. Grants Waterhouse boss Peter McCoy says it could be anybody's race.
There's a horse favourite called Fioronte. It ran second last year. It's trained by Gay Waterhouse and it's a deserved favourite. But look, there's lots of horses that could win it and lots of horses from England and overseas.
And to ensure that all those planning on being part of the race get a chance to place their bets, Grants Waterhouse will have extra booths.
We are operating at lots of the resorts and hotels where they're having Melbourne Cup functions, and in Suva a lot of the clubs are having Melbourne Cup functions. So Grants Betting will have a terminal there.
With Diwali this weekend, next Tuesday is setting up to be a very busy day.
And then you get back to work on Tuesday and the Cup's on. So people have to take another afternoon off. So look, I think it'll still be busy. People are interested in the Cup, you know, whatever day it's on.
The Melbourne Cup at the Flemington Racecourse takes place next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Fiji time. Catch the race live on FBCTV. Shelvin Chand, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Fijian Holdings Limited has described 2013 as a year of achievements despite many challenges. FHL held its annual general meeting in Suva today. Group Chairman Ioana Naiveli says the group viewed its business strategy in light of the competitive environment in the Pacific Island business community, taking into account the expectations of its shareholders. The company, for the first time in its history, completed 2 major acquisitions in this financial year.
Finalization of the acquisition of South Sea Cruises Limited, SSC. This acquisition is the FHL largest corporate investment since it is Samson. Secondly, the finalization of the acquisition of Asana Holdings Limited in March 2013. YHL, now known as FHL Media Limited, is the majority shareholder of Fiji Television Limited.
Meanwhile, FHL says their revenue for the last financial year was $233 million, from which $18.68 million profit was made. Weather time now, and with Diwali approaching us, Jen, will the weather get better?
Currently, Jackie, the weather's quite unpredictable. There's a heavy downpour 1 minute and sunshine the next. Last weekend is a prime example. So to answer that question, I'm not really sure. However, I can tell you what the weather was like today. Showers in all major centers with thunderstorms in Lambasa. Temperatures see all 3 western centres on 30 degrees, Lambasa the warmest on 33 and Suva the coolest on 28. The sun comes out tomorrow morning in Nandi, Lautoka, Ba and Lambasa. That isn't likely to last long though, considering we're all headed for a wet afternoon. Southeast winds are at 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. Now I just had to put this photo up. Sent in by Shakti Gaunda from Suva and taken in Savasavu. A picture fit for a postcard. Thanks, Shakti. And do remind them to return my boat over here. Otherwise, I'll have to start charging.
Keep dreaming, Jen. Thanks so much for that. Our headlines once again, Fiji has benefited a lot from the Asian Productivity Organization in the last 30 years. A man has been charged with attempted murder after he allegedly stabbed his de facto wife, and towing services will be getting self-regulating guidelines from December 1st, 2013. On to our poll question. Should taxes for alcohol and cigarettes be increased in the 2014 budget? Visit our FBC website to answer. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's all from FBC News tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Hope you're enjoying the music right now on Gold FM. Only the classic hits, especially if you're spending your time at home or around the office. I certainly hope you're taking it easy and enjoying the music coming your way. Well, I got a whole lot more to keep you moving and to keep you going right up until you reach knock-off time. I'm Kara. Join me every weekday from 2 to 7 on The Ride, only on Gold FM.